Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tattoo Bart and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we got another very cool review for you guys. We're gonna review a starter kit by Dragonhawk. This is the Dragonhawk X3 wireless tattoo kit that we're gonna review today. So if you are a beginning artist or maybe you're looking for a cool holiday present for one of your friends or family who's really into tattooing, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. Because I'm gonna explain a little bit about how this kit works and if it's good for the value of money that you're gonna pay for it. So make sure you stay tuned and let's unbox this machine. Okay, as you can see, you got your box right here. This is where all the stuff that you're gonna need for your first tattoo journey. So when you open it up, you see you got a little manual over here. This is basically just explaining about the machine a little bit. I'll explain it to you. You got a 3.5mm stroke, which means it's not the hardest stroke, it's not the hardest hitting machine that you're gonna have, but this is perfect for beginners because you don't want to have something that hits too hard. The 3.5mm stroke is a very good beginning stroke because it's very forgiving. It's nice to line, nice to shade, and nice to color pack. It's very all round. So I think for your first tattoo machine, a 3.5mm stroke is something that's really important. This doesn't really matter. 12 volt gives you this amount of speed. The voltage output is anywhere from 5 between 12 volts. That's the adjustments you can make on your battery because this is a wireless machine. And the rest of that we'll just go over when we're unboxing this. We got a little motivational speaking right here. Under this little foam thingy is going to be your machine. So it's right here. Very cool looking. You see you got the buttons up top. We'll get to that later. Take that out. Then right here you got a box of needles. It is a pen style machine, so of course they run with cartridges. In here you got 10 needles. I think 5 of them are 5-round magnums, which is going to be your shading needle, which is a pretty small needle, but it's good. And it has a 3-round liner, which is going to be obviously a lining tattoo needle. So I'll put these back. We got another box over here. Let's open it up. Here you got all your consumables. So we got ink cups, you got some gloves and ink, and we also have a little bit of grip tape so you can cover your grip. The nice thing is it's a small grip tape because the grip is also small. So sometimes they are I think 45mm and they will be too thick for this kind of grip, so it's very nice that they put in like a small, like a thinner kind of grip tape in there. Let's get this out of the way. Then we got another box. Let's open it up. Here's gonna be your charger cable. This is to charge the battery on your machine, so make sure you don't lose that, even though it is a Type-C charger, so it works with any Type-C chargers obviously. And right here we're gonna have a little bit of practice skin, which we're gonna use in this video as well, because I do want to test the practice skin that comes with the kit, and that way we can also test the machine and I can show you how it works. So let's talk about the machine just a little bit more. Let's move all this shit out of the way. So right here you got your machine. It got 3 buttons. The one in the middle is your power on and off switch. Here's your minus and this is your plus. This is to adjust your voltage. So when you long press the middle button, it'll turn on. It'll say 7.3 volts. And this is going to be your battery life, the dots here. Now if you press this button again, it's going to start running. And you can adjust your voltage going down. And going up. And if you want to stop, just do that. So pretty straightforward. Nothing fancy about this machine. We'll keep it at 7. It does vibrate a little bit. If we put it on the table, it does a little dance for us. But it's nothing too crazy. It's not to the point where it's gonna hurt your hand or anything. Here is where you can adjust the needle depth. Let's turn that off. Now, right here, this is where your needle goes in. We're gonna crack some from the box. This is gonna be your 3 round liner. This is to do the outlines with. And this is your 5 round magnum. This is a very small shading needle. You have to be a little bit careful with using very small needles because they are sometimes a bit harder to work with. But then they're also very good to practice with, because if you use a very large magnum, it's sometimes harder to get in certain areas, where with a small magnum that is a lot easier. And if you can do solid, like very nice and clean lines with a 3 round liner, you can most likely do them with a larger one as well, because it will show every single mistake that you make. So yeah, let's open it up. It's like a blister package, and you can twist in your needle like so, and then there you go. It does sound a little bit rough, but that's also because the needle is very dry. There's no ink in that little reservoir that helps the needle to run. That sounds already a little bit better. Cool. So yeah, that's the magnum. Let's quickly get the liner in. Three round liner. Pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. Looks good. The design on these cartridges are very cool. This is also my first time using these cartridges, so that's going to be very fun to test out as well. Now I have one more thing to say about the ink. This ink, for me personally, I am not allowed to use these in my region. So I do, yeah, it's a little hard to say, but I do not recommend using inks that come with your tattoo kit on real skin. Now, of course, you can use them on the practice skin, that's no problem. If you want to use them on real skin, I think you should check what the actual ingredients are and if they are allowed to be used for tattooing in your region. I know where I live, I'm not allowed to use these in the shop. So yeah, make sure you are 100% sure that you can use these on real skin. Yeah, I'm gonna use these on practice skin only, and that's what we're actually gonna be doing right now. Now we're gonna open up the little ink bottle. Now I hope this is, or it would be nice if it was sealed, but not for the purpose of this video, because that means I gotta open it all the way up. It seems to be open. Alright, it doesn't have like a little dropper bottle, what it usually has, so you have to be really careful. There we go. And that is something that probably really sucks if you want to practice black and gray and you have to dilute this ink, because yeah, they should just put like a little thingy on there so you can easily put a couple of drops into an ink cup. But I think it's probably for the space in the box, so they can fit a little bit more in. Let's actually start using the liner. We got the 3 round liner here. We're gonna put it into the machine like so, and let it run. So right here, this is at 7 volts. Now if you're a beginner, you just want to make sure you slow down. Don't start off too fast. So we're gonna go down to probably 6 volts. So yeah, we're gonna start at 6 volts. see if we can do a couple of lines right here. Always put a little bit of Vaseline on the skin, and let's see how this practice skin works. So we're gonna come in like so. And let's wipe. And you see, even with 6 folds, you just have to move really slow. And that's what tattooing usually is all about. It's not about going fast. We can try to go a little bit faster. 6.5. As you can see, it creates very nice, very nice lines. Now I think even with this liner you can do a little bit of shading. If you like to do a little pepper shading kind of thing, this works. I would probably put it a little bit slower. Let's see. Go to 5.5. You can take your time a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Let's put in the Magnum. This is where you should actually create your shading with. This is still at 5.5 volts. Let's go. The quality of the needles seem to be really good as well. You can see these nice little dots. That's how you create your shading. If you want to create a more darker shading, you go over that part a little bit more. But if you want to learn a little bit more about how to tattoo, I would recommend you go over to a playlist on my channel. It's called The Journey. We got a couple of videos over there as well, where I'm explaining a little bit more about black and gray tattooing and how to do shading and things like that. It's not so much of a lesson, it's more of me practicing and taking everybody along that is willing to watch. But I'm pretty sure you can learn a lot from there as well. So here we got a little bit of shading. Now let's see if she packs solid black as well. I always do like a little bit of a longer needle when I do color packing. Here we go. And there's some really nice solid black. So yeah, this machine actually works pretty good. You can use some Vaseline to clean off the ink residue on the practice skin. Now what I also kind of want to see is if this machine actually works with some bigger needles. I also have a 11 round liner in the mix and a 17 curved magnum. Now little disclaimer, usually on a 3.5mm stroke you're not gonna use 11 round liners. Of course it is possible, but not very ideal. You probably want to use something that has a little bit of a larger stroke, but it's not impossible. So let's spark this machine up again. 11 round liner, 6.5 volts. Put a little bit of Vaseline on the practice skin. Here we go. She can do it. I do think she might need a little bit more. Let's increase the voltage just a little bit. To maybe 7. Here we go again. And you can see that works pretty good. So even with 11 round, she still works pretty good. Now, I do have to say, probably on real skin this is going to be pretty hard, but on the practice skin it's not really a big problem. You can do a bit of whip shading with this as well. I do recommend to lower the voltage if you do so. Cool. So yeah, that works pretty good. Now let's see how it works with a 17 curved magnum. This is a big shader needle. Now this is what you usually use for soft shading and things like that. It's not really meant for color packing. Obviously you can. As a beginner I wouldn't. But this is just to see if this machine can work with bigger needles as well. Let's do a bit of shading. Let's compare it to what it looks like with the 5 round magnum, because you will see that the shading with this looks a little bit different. It's a little bit softer. This has nothing to do with the needle brand, but it has to do with the size. Because it's a lot bigger, it will give you a lot of a softer shade as well. Let me see. The other one is a lot harder because it's a smaller needle, so it goes into the skin a lot easier and it's a lot easier to go deeper. Where with a larger needle, it's a little bit harder to penetrate that skin, so you get a softer shading effect. See that? Now let's pack a little bit of black just on top of that. Yeah, that works. Actually works pretty good. Alright, let's quickly turn this off. And let's clean up this mess a little bit. Alright, and you can see you can actually tattoo with this machine. And it's a very comfortable machine to work with, and it works really nice. But there is a couple of things I want to talk to you about, so let's quickly go back up top and talk about this machine a little bit more. So that was the review of the Dragonhawk X3 starter kit. I actually like this machine. It works really nice. As you can see in the video, it also tattoos pretty nice, and it does put out the work. But there is something that caught my concern is the buttons that are on the battery are not very good of quality. I have actually ruined some of the buttons on mine. I'm not sure if this is going to be a problem that's just with my machine, so I'm also going to check with Dragonhawk if they had this complaint a little bit more or not. But yeah, it is something that is really concerning. So I just spoke to Dragonhawk, and they basically said that it was a quality issue with just this one machine only. And I actually do believe them, because I never really had a problem with any of the Dragonhawk machines, and this was such a rare thing that I thought it must be something like this. So I contacted them explaining the situation, and they are understanding. They are willing to send me a new machine. Now, of course, because I already got this machine for the review, I'm not gonna ask for a new one. But it is good to know for you guys that if you do run into this problem, you can always contact the customer service from Dragonhawk. Other than that, it works very nice. It runs very smooth. Of course, it's not a very high-end machine, so you do get a little bit of it's a little bit rougher than a more expensive machine, because the whole kit combined is like around $80 or $90, I believe, which is basically a steal. Now, besides the machines, there were more things in the package that I want to talk about, because the needles are actually a very good quality of needles. They work very nice. They are very stable, especially with 3-round liners. They can be a little bit of a pain in your butt sometimes, because they will wiggle around in the tip. With these needles, not at all. Very straightforward, very good ink flow, so the ink gets out with the needle, and it flows really well, so you get nice crisp lines. Even the ink was surprisingly good for on practice skin, and the practice skin itself was actually really good as well. So I'm very happy that those things are actually good. I hope you enjoy watching this video. I will also link this product down in the description below, so you can have a look at it, and probably get you a 10% discount as well when you order them through my link. Anyways, I hope I informed you enough, and I hope you're having a great day, and then I will see you in the next video.